Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to see about canine space infection. It is one of the most important question and the important topic to know. It is very important question in RDUHS they have asked in July 2018. So now we are going to see about the canine space infection. First you have to know what is the facial spaces. Facial spaces are nothing but these are the potential spaces between the layer of fascia, and these are the spaces which has the loose connective tissue, arteries, veins, glands and lymph nodes in them. First you have to know about the facial spaces. First you have to write what is the facial spaces. I have made it very simple for you and it is very easy to understand and write as well. So first you have to write what is facial spaces, and then you have to mention the classification of the facial spaces. You can mention 3 or 4 classifications. After that you can write about the canine space infection. So the next is classification of facial spaces. It is first is the based on clinical significance, that is primary maxillary space, primary mandibular space, secondary facial space. So what all you have to study in primary maxillary space is that you can remember what are the spaces above your mouth, that is the canine, buccal space and infratemporal space. You can remember this as CBI. So C for canine, B for buccal and I for infratemporal. These are the primary maxillary space. Then primary mandibular space you can remember as the mandibular spaces that include submental, submandibular, sublingual and buccal space. This is so very easy, right? And then is the secondary facial space. You can remember there is 2 temporal, 2 pharyngeal space. First, what are the temporal? That is superficial temporal and deep temporal. Pharyngeal, there is 2 pharyngeal space, that is lateral pharyngeal and retropharyngeal. After that you can remember it as Prime Minister is in Punjab. That is Prime Minister is in Punjab. These are the easy mnemonics so that you can remember. So P for pterygomandibular space, M for masseteric space and P for prevertebral space. So these are the 3 spaces based on the clinical significance. It is very easy for you to remember. The next classification is based on mode of involvement. It is direct involvement, that is primary spaces, and indirect involvement, that is secondary spaces. And next is based on Topazian classification. It is face, suprahyoid, infrahyoid, and one more is spaces of total neck. So first one is based on clinical significance. Second one is based on mode of involvement. Same primary spaces, secondary spaces what we have mentioned before, you have to write the same here also. Next is based on Topazian classification. Face, the same what and all you could find in the face, that is the canine, buccal and parotid space. Then suprahyoid, all the sub things, that is the sublingual, submandibular, submaxillary, submental, and then lateral pharyngeal, peritonsillar. Next is the infrahyoid. In this 2 visceral you have to remember. One is anterovisceral and retrovisceral. Next one is the spaces of total neck. That is retropharyngeal. There you have written as lateral pharyngeal, and in the neck it is retropharyngeal, danger space, and the spaces of carotid sheath. So this is very simple classification I have given for you. You have to write the 3 classifications. It is very important and very easy also. You can remember easily. After mentioning what is canine space infection and after mentioning what are the classifications, then you can start writing about canine space infection. Now I have given you a gist of what and all should be there while you're writing this question. According to that, you have to write your answers. It is very easy to remember these things, and this canine space infection is very important question to remember. So first, what and all should be there in your answer? First you have to write what is the boundary, and then what is the content, what are the teeth involved in this specific infection, and what is the source of this infection. Then you have to write about neighboring space, and then you have to write about clinical features, treatment, and complications of this canine space infection. It is so simple as that. Okay. Now, what is the canine space? It is the region between anterior surface of maxilla and the levator muscles of upper lip. So, with diagram you can remember this very easily. Okay. And here is the diagram. So, it is the region between the anterior surface of maxilla and the levator muscles present. So, here will be the canine space infection. Okay. Now, first thing in canine space infection you have to remember is that the boundaries. These are very important. And if you know this diagram, you can write the boundaries very easily. So first you have to remember this diagram. It is very easy. And anteriorly, posteriorly, and what and all you have on medially, laterally, everything you have to mention in your boundaries. First, anteriorly there is orbicularis oris muscle. This is orbicularis oris. And posteriorly, obviously you know you will have buccal space. And then medially you have, this is levator labii superioris aliquot nasae. So medially you have levator labii superioris aliquot nasae, and then laterally you have 2 muscles, that is zygomaticus major and zygomaticus minor. So this is zygomaticus major and this is zygomaticus minor. And then what you have superiorly is this one, that is levator labii superioris. Levator labii superioris, and superiorly you have levator labii superioris, and inferiorly you have this muscle. This is levator anguli oris. So what you have superficially and deep is the same what you have written for superiorly and inferiorly. Superficially you have levator labii superioris, and deep you have levator anguli oris and the anterior surface of maxilla. So it is very easy to remember with this diagram. First, anteriorly you have orbicularis oris, and posteriorly you have obviously buccal space. Then medially you have, this is the medial side, right? So medially you have levator labii superioris aliquot nasae, and laterally you have zygomaticus minor and zygomaticus major muscle. Then what you have superiorly, you have levator labii superioris, and inferiorly you have levator anguli oris. And superficially deep, you have to write what you have written for superiorly and inferiorly, the same. So, this is the boundaries of the canine space. This is very easy to remember if you remember with this diagram. So, please make a note of this diagram. So please make a note of this diagram. This is very easy to learn with this diagram. So first most important thing you have to write in canine space infection is boundaries. Okay. After that, what you have to write is the contents. What is the content? The content is, you have what and all will be there. There will be an angular artery, vein and infraorbital nerve. These are the two contents that is present in the canine space. Okay. After that, what you have to write? You have studied about boundaries, content. Now, what is the teeth involved? This is the canine space infection. So, obviously, you know, mainly it is due to the maxillary canine. And as well as sometimes it may be due to first premolar and the mesiobuccal root of first molar also. So, what is the cause of this canine space infection? That is, what is the source of this infection? It may be due to the long rooted canine. That is, when the root of the canine is long and when the origin of the levator anguli oris muscle is low. So, the canine root will be longer and it might cause infection. Infection from the canine, it will travel through the medial border of this levator anguli oris into the canine space. So, the canine space infection might happen. So, what are the neighboring space you could find here is the buccal space. Now, clinical features, the main clinical features you have to write this 5 clinical features, that is most important clinical features. If you remember this 5, it will be sufficient. First, there will be a swelling of the cheek and upper lip. Then there will be edema of lower eyelid. Then there will be obliteration of nasolabial fold. And there will be a drooping of angle of mouth. That is drooping of angle of mouth on the one side. Nasolabial fold is there will be a obliteration. This is like obliteration. And here drooping of angle of mouth. Then you could find tenderness and redness in the facial tissue. So you have to mention these 5 clinical features for this infection. After that, you have to write about the treatment. It is most important for all those canine space infections. The common treatment, the one important common treatment is incision and drainage. So here you have to mention where you are doing the incision. Incision is through the mucosa of buccal vestibule, of lateral incisor and canine. That is, you are doing in the buccal vestibule. Then drainage, a small hemostat is inserted through the levator anguli oris and the pus is evacuated and the drain is placed and it is sutured. This is the treatment. Then what is the complications? That is the cavernous sinus thrombosis. So, what and all things you have to mention is that boundaries, content, the teeth involved, source of infection, neighboring space, clinical features, treatment and complications. You have to write under these headings. And this is a very important 5 marks and easy to remember also. You have to remember the boundaries so that you could remember the other things very easily. Only the part is boundaries is only a little bit difficult. So, if you remember this diagram, it is easy for you to remember these boundaries. So, that's it for today. if you remember this diagram, it is very easy for you to remember this boundaries. So that's it about canine space infection. I'll just show you once again what and all should be there. First, you have to write what are the facial spaces, classification of facial spaces, and then the headings which I have told you that you have to write in detail, and you have to put the diagram of canine space infection. So that's it for 5-marker questions. It is very simple and very easy for you to understand and remember. So if you like this video, hit the like button, share this video. If you have any queries, comment in the comment section below. And if you have any specific topics to be covered, please comment in the comment box. Thank you for watching. Thank you.